Hello, Rebecca McLaughlin here, author of the upcoming young adult. Start over. Okay, here's the thing though, is if I make mistakes, you can't laugh too much because I'm just gonna keep going and we're gonna do another take. Okay. Hello, I'm Rebecca McLaughlin. Son of a bitch.
Perils of making a video with someone else.
Hello, I'm Rebecca McLaughlin, author of the upcoming Nameless Queen, which comes out January 2020. This is our 30th take of this, so she's not a good scene partner. This is my sister, Melissa.
Twin sister.
This is my twin sister, Melissa. Today she is going to be asking me questions about my writing process. I don't know what they are. Hopefully they're good. No pressure.
Thanks.
You're welcome. All right, let's get started.
First question is about freaking out. So I'd like to know about how often you freak out about what you're writing.
Well, do you need to ask that question? Because I call you every time I freak out. Melissa, how often do I call you freaking out about my books?
At least once a week.
Hey, that seems frequent
Yes.
and maybe accurate.
So what is the craziest thought you've had while freaking out about your book?
Oh dear goodness, I'm never going to finish this. It's never going to be good. I've broken it forever. I've shattered it to thousands of pieces, which I can never pick up off the ground. I can tell you're nodding a little bit because these are probably like close to what I say to you when I'm panicking.
Yep.
So mostly I just get really concerned that something I've done has damaged the story or broken it irreparably. And what that actually means is in that moment, there's a problem I don't know how to solve. And that does not mean it's broken. That just means I need to figure out how to continue. But nothing you do is permanent. Anything that you think you break, you can fix. You can change. You can rewrite.
What is one of the things that has helped you the most to get through freaking out?
Calling my sister, regardless of the time of day or night, when I'm freaking out.
I think, 2 a.m. is the latest you've called me?
At least that, yes. And she answers.
I do.
She's so good. She's so sweet. I call someone who will support me and mostly who will tell me, you can do this, keep working at it, you'll get there.
Let's see, I'm just coming up with these questions off the top of my head at this point.
I'm so glad we planned this so well.
Aren't you? Alright, so what thing do you hate the most about drafting a new novel?
Not being done yet.
Oh man.
I mean, to be honest, I probably hate getting stuck the most.
Mm-hmm.
Because that can be really frustrating and it can feel like the end of the world. But also, sometimes, I almost said it takes so long. But I'm actually quite a fast first drafter. So that's not really true either, I guess. I'm just a liar. I'm just lying about everything.
Do you find it helpful to compare yourself to other people while you're working on a book? Or do you find that comparing yourself is something that you would advise against?
Against. Strong against. Comparing yourself to others, I can't imagine is often ever healthy or valuable. Because especially when you're working on a first draft, when you're writing, the books you're reading are not someone's first draft.
True.
What you look at in stores is incomparable to what you're working on now. Because what you're working on now is new, it's messy, and a first draft is not beautiful. It just exists.
Still fun to read though.
Still fun to read?
Yeah.
Are you bragging because you're reading my first draft right now?
Yeah. I love reading your first draft.
Oh, that's so sweet. Get you someone who is as excited to read your first draft as they are to read your last. For me, that is my sister and my mom also, who has not read the first draft yet for my current book, and she's kind of salty about it.
She is very salty
She's
about it.
Yeah. Yes. I don't know if we're going to keep it in the part we talk about mom too much. Especially if we're not complaining, but if we're like
Salty.
saying she's salty, probably don't put that on the internet because she'll probably watch it.
Probably.
Hi mom, love you. The important thing is to understand that you shouldn't be comparing yourself where it's not comparable. If you want to look at other people's art or writing in order to learn from it, that's entirely different. I do, of course, get that feeling when I'm reading a book and I'm writing books where I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to be that good. I'm never going to have characterization that beautiful or a thematic arc that perfect and clean. And that might be true. To be honest, like, we live in a huge world with hundreds, millions of artists and are all on a scale. but it does you no good to compare where you are on the scale, because of course everyone and you are always going to be moving.
You're one to talk, though, because when you were drafting your first book, you wouldn't even read anything while you were drafting.
Well, that's still true. That exact fact, comparing yourself to others and to finished work, is one of the reasons I don't read in my genre when I'm writing. The biggest thing is that I just need to live in my own world that I'm creating, and I need to not psych myself out with the success of others.
Yeah, that's gotta be a big one.
Yes.
Okay, here's a question for you. How do you feel?
Happy.
When?
Pretty happy. Okay, sure. Conditional. Go ahead.
How do you feel when people in your family say things like, "Oh my gosh, you're gonna be so famous. You're gonna be the next J.K. Rowling"? Your facial expression pretty much just answered that question for me. Where is your favorite place to work?
I don't even know if I have one, to be completely honest. I love changing where I work, going to different places. When I was revising Nameless Queen, my favorite place to go was this big empty office space on the weekends. And there was like an espresso maker there, and it was quiet, and it was clean and neat, and it had like this very professional vibe to it, and for me that was very useful while I was revising.
Plus the huge whiteboard probably
Oh,
didn't
the
hurt.
huge whiteboard was so good. I love a good whiteboard. Lately, I have really enjoyed going to work at the library or coffee shops, and different ones all the time.
I think I already know the answer to this one.
Cool. Great.
Cool.
Why are you
Great.
asking me questions if you know the answers?
For other people's edification.
That's polite.
It's polite.
No, just kidding. Go ahead.
It's
Please
the
ask.
purpose of the video.
Shut up.
Alright, anyways, where is your least favorite place to try and work?
My least favorite place to work. Here?
Yeah, I figured. So hard when you've got people around you and TV around you and
It's tough.
animals around you. Final question, I'm guessing.
Final
yes?
question.
It doesn't
Make it a
exist
good
in my
one.
head yet. So.
Doesn't it? Make it up.
Alright. Here, do something entertaining while I think. Alright, here's a question for you.
Okay.
It's something that I recently saw you post about on Twitter.
Cool. I tweet.
Yes, you do.
Mick Rebecca, Twitter.
Your tweets are usually very funny.
I'm
I like
hilarious. Thank you.
them. Yes, you're welcome.
Continue.
Alright, yeah. Alright. So, it's something that I actually had asked you the last time we were at Barnes & Noble.
Sure.
And I think that that's what prompted you to tweet about it, but correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't remember.
Do you base characters in your books on people that you know?
So I get this question sometimes from people, and I think in part, people would be honored, or they just are curious. I think it's a cliche where people think that authors just put people from their real life into a book, but that's honestly just not how it works. So back when I wrote Nameless Queen, I got this question from one of my friends. She had read a draft and similarly saw some characteristics of herself in the character and was like, "Hey, did you base this person on me?" Suspicious face. And I said the same thing then. No. And that's not to say that, obviously, when you write characters in a book, they have characteristics that people in your life have, but that's because everyone in your life is human and you want the characters in your books to be human. So someone you know is going to have blonde hair or brown hair. someone you know is going to have a thing that they like that your main character likes. And so they're going to start identifying with that character. And in particular, if people look at a character, read a character, and say, I'm kind of identifying with this person, how great is that? Like, I want to write characters that people will read and identify with, because that means I've done a pretty good job at making that character seem and feel real.
I was just going to say, it means you're doing your job.
Yeah. Where's my gold star?
I don't have one.
Failure. Why did I bring you? I have a horrible habit of putting way too much banter in a first draft, which I think is hilarious and fantastic.
I think it's hilarious and fantastic.
I know, but the problem is that when you're trying to have dramatic moments in a book and build tension towards the climax of the story, you can't undercut it with a joke all the time. It gets old and it ruins tension. So, gotta murder your darlings is how they say it. Which is very violent, but...
That's...
Have you never heard that before?
I've never heard that before.
Really?
Murder your darlings.
Murder your darlings. You've never heard murder your darlings.
I've never heard that before.
Oh, dear. For authors, there's a term. You have to murder your darlings. And what that means is even though you love something, you have to cut it. For whatever reason. If it's a great joke, but it's undercutting the tension,
all right,
gotta go. Does that that's like a slurping sound, not like a death sound. Hold on, let me try that again. If you wrote a great, you can't do that. I'm gonna refilm it.
I mean, I can. It just
wait. What did you do? I want to learn how to do it. Why can't I not do that? Oh no.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we're keeping all of that. Murder your darlings. Yes.
All right.
Breathe.
All right. I think that's all the questions that I have for you, for now.
All right. Cool. I have a couple questions for you.
What?
When I asked what we were gonna do the video on, Q&A of some variety, what made you pick writing process?
I think a lot of people have like imposter syndrome when they're writing, and they feel like they're not good enough or they're not doing a good job. And so I think it's important for people to realize that even people who are getting published freak out a lot.
Yes, can confirm imposter syndrome does not go away. Everyone has it. We all think we're secretly not good enough. We all think we're secretly found success and didn't deserve it, or that we will never will again.
Was that something that happened between book 1 and book 2 for you?
Yeah.
How do I know it's going to be as good as the first one?
You're asking that question as if I've gotten past that point yet.
So, the answer is yes, you do experience that, and
Yes.
no, it hasn't gone away.
No. No, and I don't know that to some extent it ever will. And I don't say that to cause panic or stress to anyone, but just to make sure you know that it's totally normal. Everyone has those fears, those concerns, and it's just a part of creating. And 2, I think part of it is a testament to the fact that there is no such thing as success. Success is a shifting definition that you always redefine and will always move out of your reach. Instead of trying to define success as a thing I have to achieve or an amount of sales I have to hit, all of which is out of your control, by the way.
Right.
None of it you control. I try to define success as doing the thing I enjoy. And if I've done the thing I enjoy, then I am successful.
All right, look that way for a second and don't move.
Is there a bug on my face? Holy crap, was that a bug? What's that?
Eyelash.
Oh, that's better.
Oh, we're so
You're
funny.
hilarious too. Aww. You want to do the outro?
Outro? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, you want to do the outro?
Yeah.
Do you know what it is?
No. All right. I guess that's all we have for today. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. If you have any more questions about writing process, or I guess any other questions about writing in general, feel free to leave them below.
And Melissa or me will be available to answer them. I wanted to thank you, Melissa, so much for doing this with me. I really appreciated it. You can follow me over on Instagram and Twitter, links below. And I will also have Melissa's down below as well if you want to follow her. She does art.
I do art.
Art is good. But either way, thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you guys next week. So long. Bye!
Bye!
Oh, you chimed in there. That was very sweet.
I did.
Wait, was it cute? Were we harmonious?
You know I don't do harmony.
I wasn't paying attention enough.
I don't do harmonizing.
Do you
I think it was fine. All right, now I'm going to do my way to close and say peace.
You're not even in the frame.
Peace.
Peace!
All right, now go hit the power button.
No, I don't want you. You go do it.